Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I hope y'all woke up better than I did, which is late. Um but here I am, here we are, with these beautiful, beautiful people. And we're gonna start as we always do with a quick introduction of who we are and who we're playing. And a quick little recap. Let y'all decide who does the recap. How about Anthony? Jen, you're gonna do the recap.
Oh man,
Yeah, I just decided
well,
that.
that's
Um,
my notes from last week.
well, you don't have to. It was mostly a fight. You don't have to detail the fight. We'll start off with me. Hi, everyone. My name is Satan. I'll be your dungeon mistress for today. So I'll be playing everyone else that these three aren't playing. And with that, we'll go over to my lovely players. Let's start with a new permanent addition to the group, RJ. That's you.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ on the interwebs, but today I'll be playing Rollin Granbrook, the sorcerer cleric half elf.
Yeah. Next, we'll start off with our lovely grumpy man.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'll be playing Anthony Silverhorn, the Artificer Barbarian Drow.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, our lovely host, our lovely producer, our lovely Lucy.
Hey, y'all. I'm Sarah. I'll be playing Lucy, the Changeling Wizard Warlock. If this is your first time on my channel, hi, welcome. We're glad to have you here. If you've been here before, then you already know that this is a charity channel. Everything on the screen that you see, monthly sub rewards, the bits that you give us, direct donations to the charities we talk about. All the money here goes to charity. I take no financial income from this because we want to make the world a little better. So if you want to affect our game, you can watch a screen to see what your sub perks are, and if you haven't redeemed them for the month, or what your bits can get you. If you can't donate via our game, that's fine too. We also have some channel point options that affect our game as well. So if you can't spend the monies, just hang out, watch, earn some points, spend them on us. Those healing potions matter. You're muted, Satan.
Whoops, they do, and the Not 20s do as well. If you haven't checked out our previous episodes, those Not 20s come in real clutch in certain situations. Um, but yeah, with that, we'll do a quick little recap. uh, let's go, Jen. Anyone can jump in and help out if any details are missing that we want to add. So just go ahead.
We crawled through the dungeon, solving riddles and whatnot to eventually encounter the Guardian. That was at the center of this temple, a corrupted angel of sorts. After much battle and craziness, we prevailed at the loss of one of our own, Bib, a childhood friend of Anthony. Uh, Learned that she was a remnant, and he's going through some sads at the moment. And now they have a cool ass sword that I'm definitely not going to attune to when
Mm-hmm.
nobody's looking.
All right. Uh, with that lovely recap, yes, the last we left off, you met with Fib's fading spirit as she said her goodbyes. Said she would meet with you in Bloomberry. Who knows what that means? But you are out of the temple in the sand where you had last camped with your lovely Naga guides. But they're not there with you. What are you doing? Where are you going?
Did we take a long rest?
You can, yeah. We could have said that
Yeah,
happened.
I got a point of exhaustion because I didn't rest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy will wake up in the morning, stretch, and wait for the other two to wake up because she wakes up ridiculously early. So she's doing some yoga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you? Do you have a tent? Or are you doing it in your?
Nah, she just there on her mat.
Okay. It is hot. It is the desert. Things are sandy. You do have to be careful with the wind, but you're able to do it.
They're in the force dome, so it's a comfortable 70 degrees. I can change the temperature of it.
Yeah. But it lasts 8 hours.
This will be at the end of the 8 hours.
Okay. So, when do the rest of you wake up?
I'm already awake. Don't mind me.
Rollin probably wakes up last then, because he needs that full 8 hours.
All right, you're all awake. We'll say the tiny hut dissipates at the end of the 8 hours, which Rollin, not Rollin, wakes up to.
Where do you all want to go? Also, good morning, sleepyhead. She throws her
Morning.
ration at him.
Catches and eats. Well, preferably I'd like to go home, but if we still have business out here, let's finish that up first.
We do, technically. It might take us a while if you're okay with that. And she will lay out the map and show him their location in relation to the river. There was a child we saved a while ago. They were taken from their family. We think that their family, what's left of them, is somewhere in this area.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
The people we met before, they're about a day away.
Yes, we could start walking that way, or I could ask them to come get us if you want.
Let's have them come get us. I don't want to get lost on a desert. I can just set up our house until they arrive. Be hot, but sheltered.
I can just put the dome back up.
All right.
She'll pop up the dome, and then she will sending. I don't have the name in front of me because Google Docs isn't loading, but she's gonna
Navara.
Navara.
Yeah, it's in the NPC reference as well in Discord.
Yeah, Google Docs isn't loading. She's going to sending Navara. Hi, looks like we will be going through the jungle. Fancy being our guide again?
You get you get a message after a minute. Possibly. Where are you currently?
I think we're still outside the temple.
Yeah. I'm just checking on how many sending slots I have. Outside the temple where you left us. Last sending spell. Just reply if you can pick us up.
I can definitely pick you up, though you will owe me a favor. Love, Nevada.
Okay, she'll relay that to the other two.
Is the favor loving her, or is it...
She was just like signing off a letter. Love, Nevada.
I don't know. I don't particularly care. I'm fine with either, honestly.
Kiss, hugs, and kisses, Nevada. They were out. Yeah. They do get to you sooner than a day, as they were still out in the desert doing their own business. But so I would say maybe in about 12 hours or so, you do see a familiar serpentine figure with a few other people coming your way.
during those like 12 hours of like downtime stuff, I will offer to teach Lucy the identify spell if she wants to learn going about as a more of a contract between magic and stuff like that, teaching it as if it were more of a contract rather than a spell.
She'll begrudgingly sit down and learn it.
He'll give you 4 pearls to use with it and 2 owl feathers.
So, is that all you do in your 12-hour downtime?
Lucy,
Hmm.
you remember that little iron band ball that I found on the slaver a while back?
No.
Pull it out. It was on him. Took his manacles too.
Yeah, it
Don't
looks like
wear
a small spherical mechanism that has certain moving parts around it,
Mm-hmm.
other rings around it that move.
I found out what it does.
And?
It's, we can deal with it later or now. It does have to do with them and you to an extent.
Okay.
Just sit down in the dome and it's better if I show you. And I'll pull it open and yes, Rylan.
Would you two like to be alone for this one?
No, I think you being here would be good. It's up to Lucy, really, though.
Lucy's still looking at you very confused.
You shouldn't really beat around the bush in very sensitive matters, Mr. Anthony.
The memories, as I pull open a band and unleash one of the memories.
You see a small compartment open, and a very small sliver of a silvery blue glowing tendril.
And do you think those are all of the memories of the people he's taken?
Maybe not all, some. I experienced the memory of a child being taken when I unleashed it. I didn't know what it was until I experienced it, but it's a puzzle piece. But I think we can return the memories to the right child, right person. I just don't know who's who. I don't know how many are in here, how many people are locked away.
Then it's best you put it away for now.
All right. Close the compartment, shut the ball down, and tuck it away.
It's Lucy's only response to it.
Do you have a paper bird?
I have 2 left.
May I have one? I'll compensate for.
Yeah. She'll just hand over both of them.
No, thank you. Thank you. Sit
You're welcome.
down, write a letter to my sister about Fiddle.
All right.
Let it go.
It flies off towards the south. Any other interactions that you would like to have? No. All right. Um, then the end of the 12 hour comes, and you see the familiar serpentine figure of Navarra. She's waving over at you as she makes her way to you. And she stands very tall, towering over all of you, and she sees. And then she passes. One, two.
We don't want to talk about it.
Well, yes. Glad you're all right. Back to finish.
We're heading this way. Lucy'll point out to her that they're trying to get to the river.
Hmm. Uh, all right.
I can compensate you for your time if you'd like. I have other fun trinkets. Or gold.
It would be a rather expensive uh guide for that. It's very easy to get lost in the jungle. Um, hmm. It'll usually take a lot longer than it actually does.
If you can just get us to the edge of the jungle, then you don't have to take us all the way to the river.
Darling, you don't know these jungles.
No, I
Heed my
don't. That's why I'm asking
cautions.
for a guide.
Alright. Well, I can take you there, but you will have to stop up at the village to pack up resources.
All right.
Alright?
Is that good with you? She looks to the others.
Roland nod his head.
That's fine.
Fun. There might be a little bit less room in the sled. And you see that it is filled up with materials. Some that look like old, like bones. Other look like different types of minerals. Even plants.
Would it be easier for you if we just walked?
No, that would take a lot longer.
All right. Lucy will climb in the sled with all of the, I'm assuming, hunting items that they've gathered.
You can assume. Yes.
Just pick up some plants and set them on my lap.
One of the other ones comes over, takes a plant from your lap, and sets it back. You don't want to do that.
It's not going to eat me, is it?
They start wrapping like a blanket over the materials so they don't like move around too much. But
Except what next worse. Settle down, curl up into the sled.
it'll be a long day, but we've already had our rest. And off we go. And she'll say a few words to her party members in a language that you don't really comprehend, but they'll be off. And you make your way through uh, the desert. You see very familiar sites as you saw the day when they sorry words when they brought you first, the giant bones that are much too big to belong to any known animal that you would know, uh the dangerous watering hole, and it's quite interesting to see how they instinctually already know the path, even though it's sand, and any trails that would have been made there would have been blown away. But they seem to know the exact path to take. And they stop a few times to eat, to drink, to replenish, but they make haste and they head. Eventually, you break through the tree line. They take you off the sled so you can walk now and start carrying materials themselves. Um, and eventually, she will lead you back through the trees into the small village that she led you to the first time. So this would have been an entire day's travel. You would have been sitting down, but if you need to replenish any materials, you are welcome to. But she'll let you know. Uh, just wait a moment. I have to have a few words with my people. But you're welcome to stay in my area, should you wish. Here with.
Uh, I'll be in the medical tents if you need me.
All right.
You want any help? I do know how to bandage a wound.
By all means.
Lucy will go help him and assist where she can.
Okay. Um. And she'll look to you, Anthony. You're free to walk around the village should you wish. Just stay within it.
Of course, thank you.
All right. She'll give you all a nod of her head and just walk to what seems to be the larger building of this small village. You see that the buildings are they have similar traits to the ones you saw in the Centaur town up in the Centaur village up in the mountains, the structure and the shape, but these aren't colored brightly. They are more colored to blend in with the surroundings. You see the roofs are almost covered entirely in moss and branches and greenery, but she will walk away, slither away, um, as you two will make your way to the medical tent. Rollin, you do see the familiar face of Jania. She seems to be looking over a child. She has a very friendly voice on, different than when you met her. Um, but there doesn't seem to be many people here, maybe one or two, and not so serious, maybe a hunting accident. There's one man in there, kind of sees you walk in and then just gives you a nod, but they have like a spear through the side
Your
of their
son is sitting
torso.
next to them with just
Yeah.
he looks really
This
proud.
yeah. Their son is sitting next to them, but he gives you a heads up, they have like a spear through the shoulder, but they have a proud smile on their face.
Oh,
Um
oh no.
but you are able to walk in and see her, and when you hear Jania's voice, I'll be with you in a moment. She doesn't look your way.
He'll just shake his head and attend to the man.
As you walk over, he's like, hello?
Hello, I'm a doctor, like Miss Janya over there. If you would let me take a look at that.
Hmm. You see him look over to Jania, and no, hearing the words, she looks at us like, oh, hi, Roland. It's okay. He can help you. He's fine. And the man kind of relaxes, like, okay. My boy here well, had a bit of a hunting accident, but it was amazing. I mean, look, he even made it all the way through. Look at that strength.
That's quite an impressive shot there, lad. I could say you've caught a
Thanks.
very large piece of game, but now let's try and treat your father. Miss Lucy, if you will. Help me, please.
Sure.
It's pretty. It's a pretty thick piece of like wood, because it is a spear, and you see that that the head of the spear is actually barbed. The
So,
the kid's just like proud, smiling. and it is about maybe about 13. So this it's pretty impressive strength for a 13-year-old.
I'm gonna need you to lay on your side, sir. And he's like going into his medical supplies and he pulls out a saw. I got an 18, so the procedure is basically saw through the half and then push it through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't want to pull a barb tip spear.
No, you don't. He's like, okay. And he just lays there. And you see that he is currently shirtless to like open like give you peek at free access to the wound. But he does have several other scars throughout his body.
No,
And as you do the thing, as you cut the wood and pull it through the other way, he barely flinches, like he's used to this.
just gonna
It's all good.
pop a cure wounds on that to close that up.
Yeah. You pop a cure wounds. Can you give me a number?
8.
8. Okay. It starts closing up, and it's now more of just a surface wound that you could just like kind of wrap over.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then he just sends up. Ah, there we go. That's amazing. Stay here too long, you'll give Johnny a round for her money. And then you hear like a angry hiss thrown at the man.
Well, what doctors want most in the world is not to be working. Means everyone's healthy.
Oh, that's true. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking care of me and my son. And the son just waves.
I'll hand the son like a lollipop.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Usually I would
Eats it.
apply anesthesia to that wound, but 1T and poison resistance, I'd probably have to use a lot of it.
Oh yes, don't worry. Uh, I've had worse, believe it or not.
I'd be happy to break your nose if you want to distract yourself from the pain of your shoulder.
Oh no, this I appreciate the offer, miss, and while being punched by a very lovely lady sounds great, I'd rather not go through the pain. But thank you.
That guy knows how to have a fun time.
You should meet my wife. Anyway, thank you for the offer. The pain is fine. Come on, lad, let's get you a new spear. Let's try again, eh? And just pats his shoulder. This is why we give you the practice spears first. He's walking away.
A wickedly barbed spear. This is a practice spear.
You don't know what's out in these jungles. And he walks away. Eventually, Janya walks over to the two of you. Well, thank you for that. I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting, miss.
You can call me... What name did I use here? I didn't give a name. She'll use one of her aliases. As I look up the names.
That's fine. As you see her, she is a green-skinned woman with patches of rough scale around like the shoulders, the edges of her face, and other spots. And she has instead of hair, snakes decorating her head that are long and thin. And they seem to wriggle around.
She'll use the name Ismina.
Ismina. Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Ismina. I'm a friend of Rowland. It's a friend of mine. And you see here that she's actually washing her hands thoroughly in what seems to be a small bin. Basically disinfecting. She had to stitch up a small wound in a kid, but still. Well, how can I help you today?
Well, for the most part, we're going to be here for a bit, so I thought popping in and seeing how you were doing would be the polite thing to do.
Oh, well, aren't you nice?
I'm just here to look good and occasionally assist.
That's a pretty good job. Pretty solid, pretty comfortable. And look good you do, miss. Now, she looks over the tent. I just have to give those two. You see, it's an older UNT couple, two men who are talking with each other. They all have different snake attributes. Even the ones that seem mostly human or elvish, you see the teeth are a little too long, the fangs are a little too long, and they have small patches of scales here and there. But I just got to put up some medicine for them. They are. They're still hunters, and we need a little bit of protection from the violent plant life that it is in the jungle. But if you would help me, I do need to make a fresh batch. If you are fine with doing a little bit of manual labor.
Sure, I'm amenable to this. Violent plant life. Do you know if this sort of vaccine works also on non-wanty humanoids?
Mm, it is more of a salve, like a repellent. Um, but I don't see why it would not.
Oh, a couple of doses would be much appreciated. I'll pay for it. Of course, we are going into the jungle ourselves.
That's true. It this is more of a this one will treat um anything poisonous or like that would give you any rashes. Anything much more mobile and bloodthirsty would be just a regular.
Spirit to the throat.
Exactly. Well, plant body.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And here I am without my fireballs.
I would not suggest that unless you want to start a jungle fire.
If you need me to light something on fire, I'd be happy to help.
If it's contained, feel free to use it. If it's not, I suggest you don't. You may not live in these jungles, but many different people do.
Yeah, I'll pay for a couple of doses of
Yeah,
salve.
yeah, you can, and it is using a poison, but it is applied in a way where it won't because it's on your skin and you're not ingesting it. While you do feel almost like a minty tingle, like she'll explain it to you, it basically repels any smaller bugs and any and when you apply it to any like rash, like a poison ivy rash or any wounds, it'll neutralize that. It'll get rid of it.
It's like a calamine lotion with citronella, then.
Yeah, yeah, it's nothing too difficult, but you are if you help her out with it, both of you would learn how to make it. It's not too hard, and she'll show you which plants are in it and which how to make the concoction. She does say that you need a little bit of a what you would have already technically because you have some of Navarre's poison, but it is snake poison.
Ah,
Only a few drops. It is diluted enough that it won't harm you. It just feels a little bit tingly.
interesting. All right.
But you get about three small pots. They have about maybe two uses each if you're doing the whole body because you can repel and treat with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Inventory.
Mhm.
Custom item.
Yeah, but as she gives you that, it's all packaged up really nicely for you too, and she gives it to the couple. And she just kind of takes you about the daily duties. It's just making sure all the stock's in, getting any plants from any of the hunters that have come in and brought in resources. So you actually see herself taking some of the plants have that came in with you. But while you're doing that, Anthony, what are you doing?
Uh, he has, if there's like a communal fireplace or a communal place like to gather.
Yeah, there is. There's a little like center where um it's not really a fireplace, but it's almost like a playground with a few uh I would say it's not really in the center, it's more towards the side, between houses, not at the edge of the forest, so none of the young kids just go, well, jungle, go running into the jungle. But it has a few crude fences, and houses surrounding it, but it's what people gather. There's a few tables. um you see a few people just relaxing there.
Sit at one of the tables and I'll have my language books out and
Mm.
I'll just start knitting and let Soon and Freya play on the like equipment, playground equipment, and any kids they encounter play with them.
Hmm. You the kids are very interested in Soon and Freya. They like the way they beep. But you see a mix of children and adults. Some more Naga like Navara. Others like Janya that have snakes for hair. Some have even snakes for arms or snake like traits. Um, but some even are just like humanoid bodies but a snake head. It's kind of adorable when they're babies. They have a little bit of a longer neck. So like if someone you see one of them that have the snake head, their parents call for them. It's just the like the neck just bending over. Like, yeah. But you do get a few quizzical looks from the adults. And eventually one man goes over to you. He is of it's pale skin compared to the others, but it's that kind of like pale skin that has already gotten a tan because of being out in the sun a lot. And he has very beautiful orange, not orange, sorry, yellow snakes in his hair. That they're quite shorter, thicker. He has very lovely like light eyes, an amber color, a lighter amber color. But he looks over what you're doing and curiously says, "What are you doing?"
Knitting, and then I'm gonna practice my languages.
Interesting.
Would you like to learn?
Knitting or languages?
Knitting. I'm not good at these languages yet.
Ah, yes. Though, and he'll kind of take the yarn. This thing's pretty thick for the jungle. I don't think you would need this.
Well, if you have some softer fibered plants, we could work with those.
Uh, we we do. Uh, I could talk to a friend. We do a lot of weaving, especially with plants.
Bring them over, and I can teach you the basics.
Oh, great! It seems similar to weaving, but that has a lot more knots and loops.
It's similar in concept, just different in practice.
Hmm. All right. You see him kind of call out to a few friends in this more serpentine, hissy language. And they kind of look at you over and they're like, interested. And uh, some of them leave for a moment, but then come back, and three other people kind of like sit around and look what you're doing.
I'll just call Soon over, and he'll stick his legs up to hold the yarn
Hmm.
as I loop it around and teach basic knitting, like knots and pearls. And
Mm-hmm. They teach you their own weaving with a much more thinner fiber to make some of the they have like a little loom for smaller uh pieces that they bring out and they teach you, and they show you how it's different from what they do and why they do what they do, because it's the closer weaving makes for a stronger hold, and it's they when they do it out of this specific plant fiber, it's lighter and it'll protect you, but it's still breathable.
I'll make note of the patterns they use and write it all down, and I'll
Mhm.
use it for later work.
Yeah, you see one of them's not paying attention, just is holding Soon up. but like upside down, so they're still holding the yarn. They kind of click at it with their they basically have claws instead of nails, and they
Soon beeps, and there's a glowing gem starting to radiate inside of him before I kill him off.
oh, it's pretty bright.
He's going through, I think, the teenage phase.
This is a person. Did you drop a person in here?
I know he's living, that's all the bigger he's going to get. He's his own person. He was born, created. Uh his sister is somewhat similar, but her lifespan's more of a summoned lifespan rather than a continual lifespan.
Like a familiar, possibly.
I suppose for Freya, though she retains her memories and personality.
Hmm. All right.
Soon continuously learns and adapts, and I think he's picked up some bad habits lately, but that's fine.
As all children do.
Yes.
My my child and they point to the snakehead kid. He's picked up a few bad habits already. Bad words, but
You should, if you could speak his language, soon would be a very swear. I just put a hand over his vocal box before he speaks. Loud and sweary person.
you hear a mumbled fuck, but in like Lucy's voice.
Yeah, she definitely taught him that one.
Huh, interesting. And they kind of keep talking to you about Sood and the others kind of like you see them trying the different knitting patterns on their own thinner fabric, and they've kind of adapted it so it's a closer knit with the thinner fabric. But it's very interesting combining the two with oh, here we go, um with the different fabrics and the different aspects of it. But you are surrounded by friends. They are enjoying what you're teaching them. um
I'll just tap one of the kids and say, if it's alright, I can make you very pretty and sparkly.
you see it's a little girl, a little naga, and she has snakes for her, but they're like pigtails. And she's like, I'm a very Betty pretty.
Of course. I would never want to suggest otherwise.
My dad says I'm the prettiest.
I'm afraid he's right.
Hmm. You see her smile, and it's a they're all her teeth are pointed, but she has the fangs that are longer. Thank you. But I do like to be sparkly.
I'll just hold her hand, and fairy fire kind of ripples up her arms and makes it a nice, gentle purple color.
Oh. And she's about to like do like this exclaims of excitement, but all you hear is like a her own hissing language as she's excited. And you see her yell what's effectively, Dad, look! And you see one of the heads pop out from the table, and he's like, oh, 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 wait, what? What is this? What did you do? Oh God.
I'll just say, it's fine, it's just magic, it's fine.
Oh. He kind of walks over closer and takes a, oh, it's just very fire. Okay. Oh, sorry. Very overprotective. She likes to explore a lot and gets into a lot of trouble.
Oh, well, I'll dismiss the fairy fire. Maybe not for her then.
Please.
But I'll continue the conversation about weaving.
Yeah.
I'll bring out some of my books on my mechanical drawings and stuff like that and
Mhm.
talk with them at length.
Yeah, they're very interested, and you kind of stay there for a while. Um, is there anything else, Rollin and Lucy, that you are doing?
Lucy's gonna go find Navara and ask to be
Hmm.
introduced to whoever the leader is here at the tribe.
Okay. Um, you she is still in the long what would effectively be akin to like a longhouse, a bigger building. So you are pointed in that direction. It is more of a of passing through like a curtain than it is a door. Um, but you see people at the sides of it. I was actually see one person at the side of it, a male who seems pretty human, but they stop. He's like, "Can I help you?"
I'm looking for Navara.
She'll be talking with the council. Would you like me to send word that they're waiting?
Your council, is that who makes decisions around here?
Yes.
Actually, I'd like to speak to them. I was hoping she'd introduce me, but you'll do.
All right. We'll have to call a meeting of the entire council, so just give me a moment. And you see him walk in. Excuse me. Um, walk in to the building. A few whispered hisses that you hear, but he comes out a few moments later. If you would wait here for a moment. And you see him leave, and he enters a few, two more tents. Well, houses, not tents. And one of them is the medical bay. And if you're still there, Rylan, you see this human-looking man come in and exchange a few words with Jania. And she looks at you. Uh, if you excuse me, it seems our work here is done, but it seems that the council meeting has been called for.
All right, if I guess I'll hold down the fort while you're away.
Oh, that would be lovely. Unless it's very bad that hunting accident, there shouldn't be too much work today.
I mean, if anything, if the kid gets his father in the other shoulder, I call that a win. Evens out the scar ratio.
That's very true.
Very symmetrical and pleasing.
Hmm.
Before Lucy had left, Rollin would hand her like this small, squishy toy in the shape of like a rounded cat.
So she'll squish it a few times. I don't have my dog with me. I don't think I have much use for this.
If you ever feel the need to move around when you can't, give that a couple of squeezes. I find it helps sometimes.
Thanks.
It doesn't actually make a squishy like a squeaky noise. It's a
It's like an
It's a
actual
stress ball.
squishy,
it's a
like
stress
yeah.
ball.
a stress
Yeah.
ball, yeah.
She'll squish it a few more times and then stick it in her pocket.
But as you're waiting there, Lucy, you see John Nickman. She gives you a smile. And another man who seems is a lot taller than her, between her and Navarro's height, um, walk in, and he has a more serpentine face. Seems to be like a more stretched out eyes, slitted eyes. The mouth seems to come like a few lines that come through the face from the edge of the mouth. He gives you a nod, a stern face. And then the man who, the guard, comes back and says, "The rest of the council has been brought back. Do come in. What is your name, Miss
You may call me Asmina.
Nina? All right." Um, he walks in first with the and has the curtain door open for you to walk in. Um, And as you walk in, you see it is just a central room with a table in the middle, a round table. And you see five figures in it. One is Janya, who you know to be the village doctor. The man that you saw, it is Navara as well. Uh, and two others who are two women. One of them seems much older. Um, and she is while she has a humanoid shape, she has a more serpentine like structure. So like her head and neck is that of a serpent, and her the scales run through her entire body, even though it's more humanoid. And then you see a younger woman um, that is seems kind of out of place. They're elvish, and they have dark brown hair, dark skin, and deep brown eyes, and they look to you with a smile. But he will introduce you to the council. It's like, um, council, this is our guest Ismina. She wishes to speak to the rest of you, to all of you together. As you have met, this is Nevada. She is our guide of the village. Here we have Talish, and he motions to the taller man that you saw uh, walking in. He is our head hunter. Jania, our medicine woman. We have Ishma, and he points to the older woman, our elder, and Ishmay, her niece, and the voice for the younger generation.
I am gonna get those last two names confused constantly.
Ishma, like mother.
No, I get it.
Uh-huh.
I get it. They're just
Yeah.
close.
Yeah,
It's like in another game where we have Fenris and Fenrul. I don't get those confused. um, Lucy will greet them politely.
yeah.
I have a favor to ask of you all, but first I thought you should know what's to the north, so you're prepared to defend against it should it become an issue.
They'll look at each other curiously. All right. And they motion to. There's like an empty end of the table. They're all standing up. There's no real seating. And you do see a few papers strewn on the table. The table itself, it's actually looks very lovely carved. A lot of the decor here is very natural. Very uh it's more swirling patterns that what you would see in maybe what is the here we go in Valet, which is a more harsh design, more edges, squares, geometrical shapes. This is very much inspired by nature, but they point to you to stand in the empty space at the end of the table. It's mostly the elder that is motioning for you, and she has a bit of a thicker accent, but she speaks. Is there danger to the north?
Potentially. There's a temple that I think has been long forgotten, mostly under the ground, but its effects may reach further. And she'll give an accounting of the temple and its apparent inherent corruption and the corruption of the crystals and magic within it. Just so they're. And what they encountered while they were there, just so they're prepared should any of that leach. Um, we've encountered other instances of these crystals before. They tend to leach their corrupted magic and affect wildlife. I assisted in pulling corrupted crystals off of a. Well, I don't know if he's an ancient dragon, but a rather large and pretty dragon. He got better.
As you're speaking, you see that Ishmay, the younger woman, is taking notes down, uh, effectively acting as a transcriber. Um, all right. And this is where you had Nevada take you, yes?
Yes.
Alright. She speaks a few words with I already forgot it, but the hunter and Jania. Um as they seem to be having a hushed conversation, but Nevada looks to you. Did any of this reach out beyond the temple?
Directly, I'm not sure. The god that it was once a temple to may have reached out, but beside that, nothing seemed to linger
Hmm.
once we left it.
Right. And I do not wish to bring out bad memories to you, but you did come back with one less traveler.
She died.
Yes, I am aware, but how exactly did she die in this temple? Is it something that which you would be worried that will bring up undead, or
As far as we saw, there were no undead associated with the temple, and she'll give another recounting, and she'll cover the corrupted angel. Um, it appears we took care of it, though.
all right? So it seems it could be a source for corruption if it spreads. Uh, she'll kind of pause for a moment, listen to the conversation that the other two are having. We will have to send people out there to investigate anything that you may have noticed that works against this type of corruption as protection, or
Not particularly. It takes a different form every time. I suggest guarding against being cursed, being influenced magically.
right. She kind of looks to Ishmael for a moment, and Ishmael just gives her a nod, since she understands. Like, I will make things that will help against that. No worries. All right, and she keeps writing down. Well, thank you for this warning. I think I will speak to the council, but I think best course of action is to section off that area and prevent anybody else from going there. Possibly leave a few warnings, but I do not speak for the whole council, but I do not wish to sacrifice any members of our village investigating the temple. Does this have to do with why you have to go to the river?
No, that's actually part of the favor I was going to ask you for. Uh, there's a group on the south of the continent. They tend to kidnap their new recruits rather than actually recruiting them. We intercepted one of the people who partake in that particular activity,
Mm.
and we saved a small Furbolg child. We're going to be looking for his parent. We believe one of them is at least still alive. But unfortunately, they don't remember exactly where they're from. One of my traveling companions has informed me that a device that we took off of this. She'll search for a moment and not find a better word for what he was.
Mm.
Took off of this slave trader. Uh, it apparently stores memories. We're not sure how it works or if they're recoverable for the person that they were taken from, but I'd like to call someone here who's currently watching over the child and hand over the device to them. They might be able to restore their memory.
Hmm. As you started speaking, and as soon as you mentioned kidnapping, you see all conversation pause and turn to you, and they're listening intently, and there's a look of worry on their face. This time, Ishma speaks, Elder. This is concerning. We'll have to speak to other communities that we are friendly with of the jungle. Who are you planning on bringing here?
If he's available, Elder Aiden of the Shantari Islands.
We do not know where that is.
I'd be happy to show you. She'll pull out the map that the group has, and she'll spread it out. We're here. They are down here.
It's quite far away. Yes, this is... It's strange. Swearbolgs are usually... Well, clearly very protected by the young, but nomadic. They usually don't stray that close to the river. I can't imagine people coming in that far into the jungle without knowing the dangers of it would have survived.
He seemed to be a very capable man.
This is very concerning indeed. Mm, If you give us a moment to talk, we'll come to a decision.
I'd be happy to. I'll wait outside.
Yes. Thank you.
Lucille'll step outside and she'll go find the others and tell them what she's been up to.
Anthony's still in the park, just looking at Soon, who's picked up swear words in the Yamti language. He doesn't understand them, but he knows the gist of it.
Yep.
Well, his language studies are coming along just fine.
Why did I allow this? Why? Why?
I think it's adorable that you still hold the illusion that you can allow anything when it comes to Soon. I think he makes his own decisions at this point.
Oh, God says to just pick up Soon. The Warforged are gonna be just like him. I can't deal with that. Just head Soon to Lucy. That's your problem now. Pick up my books.
Lucy just set him on her shoulder and laugh. I'm trying to get permission for Aiden to meet us here.
Oh. Great.
If that orb holds memories, it might hold May's memories. They were recently taken. It might give us a better idea of where to search for their father.
That would be great. That's good thinking. Well done.
The council's debating, I think, whether or not to allow him to come.
He's a druid. Archdruid?
I don't know.
I think he's an archdruid. He should be fine.
That's what I thought. They're not familiar with the islands, though, so... If they say no, they say no. I just thought this would be the safest place to meet with him.
No, that's good thinking. Quicker we find May's family, more we can do. More you can do.
Right.
You're doing well, Lucy.
I wasn't aware I was being judged.
It's not judgment, it's observation. And I'm very proud of you.
Well, you should be. I'm fantastic. And she'll flip her hair and start calling for Rollin to find him.
Rollin is in the medical tent. He's sat himself down, and when Lucy walks in, he's not wearing his jacket or shirt. On the table in front of him is what looks like a leather harness with basically 3 gemstones slotted in various places. And he'll turn. Miss Lucy, sorry, I'm a bit compromised at the moment.
Do you
Is
want me
that
to
what we're
leave?
calling it?
Ha ha ha.
Would you like us to take off our shirts and make you feel better?
I look beautiful. I can take off my shirt.
He does. I was there when he was sculpted.
Without the harness on, you can see that a bit of his muscles have atrophied, and he will like finish cleaning it and then strap the harness on, and you can see a bit of life return to him. And he'll stand with like a small groan before putting on a shirt and jacket.
Go
Old
over and
injury.
fix his shirt.
I was born with it. It's what Master Feanor says, a degenerative disease. Slowly attacks the nervous system, and well, without this harness, I can't really walk. Also, it regulates my heart. So let's not get into zones of magic, or else I won't be able to walk and my heart will stop.
Right, and that's things you tell us before we go into a temple.
Yeah, we should have known that before you ever set foot in the field with us.
I thought
That could
Master
have gone
Feanor
very
sent
bad.
you my dossier.
He told us
No!
absolutely nothing about you. You just showed up and started poking at him.
Yes. He said you'd be good for me, and I didn't think that meant, worrying about if your heart's going to stop if we walk into a temple.
It's okay. I think I have about an hour. It'll be fine.
Well, that's good enough for me. As long
Just
as
enough
you know
time.
your limits.
It's just enough time to write a last will and testament and square away anything I need to square away.
Right, okay.
I'm making levity out of a bad situation.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna make... It's fine. Pulls out a very thick notebook and writes something down. Oh, it's fine. I'll just add it to the list of things I'm making.
You're making things.
Yes, I'm making lots of things, mostly in regards to the things we find. And this is not about me. It's about Riley not telling us he has a bad heart going into a temple where he could have died.
Right.
To be fair, I thought you read my dossier.
To be fair, you have no room to talk about not telling people things that you should. And she'll boop Anthony on the nose.
That's
thank
something
you
you're
for
going to have to
telling
take
us.
up with your husband.
He knows most about my love affairs.
I was talking about me, but love affairs? Are you okay, sir? Would you like a lesser restoration for anything you're packing?
Well, anyways, please, if you need anything, a break, or, your heart's about to stop, tell us.
I'll tell you if I smell any toast.
Good.
Excellent. By the way, here's what I've been up to. Lucy will give him the full recounting. Now that they've gotten all that out of their system.
Yeah. So,
And
this is, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, she'll take them back to the tent to continue waiting with her.
Yeah, you wait outside of the larger building, and the guard is out there again. Again, you see a human-looking man waiting. He has a kind smile. Yeah, there you are, Mrs. Mina. I believe the council has come to a decision.
Great.
If you would please step in.
Mm-hmm.
He'll give a respectful nod to Rollin and Anthony as well. And you would see the same people, a larger man with more snake-like features in his face. Ishma, which is a older UNT woman with a snake head and neck and the scales covering her entire body. Ishme, the younger woman who looks surprisingly just elf. Navara, the Naga, Janya is there as well. So, hello. I assume these are your traveling partners that Nevada told us about, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, we have come to a decision. This is Ishma speaking, the older woman. It's would be beneficial for us to help with this issue. Um, if we can vouch for this man, then he should be able to come in if he has the ability. Um, and if you would not mind, would like Nevada to accompany you in search for this child's parent.
That's fine with me.
He would like to know the situation more up close. While we do not live near the river, it's possible that this could spread out, and we do not take kindly to slavers.
She'll nod.
When you are ready, please let us know when this person will come in.
I just need a tree to stand next to, I believe. He walks through trees.
Ah, Druid then.
Hmm? Archdruid, we
Oh.
think. We're not sure.
Oh, right. Well, uh, we do have a large tree towards the edge of the village, if you would like to use that.
Lead the way.
They not. Thank you for the information as well, both to the south and to the north of us. It's very appreciated. Should you need anything, please let anyone know. You're a welcome guest in our village.
Just keep us updated on the situation to the north if anything changes. You can send a sending to any of us or a paper bird.
Will do. Nevada has the ability to speak with others through magic as well. And she'll nod and well, unless there's anything else that would you would like to offer,
No.
then good. Navarre will nod and just kind of head out with you guys, and the rest of the council nods respectively. Your entire party is a lot more interesting than I first thought.
Well, glad we can be of some entertainment.
It gets repetitive here in the jungle sometimes. There's nothing bad with shaking things up, to a certain extent.
I could tell you all about shaking things up, huh?
Mm.
Eyebrow wiggles.
Darling, I think you already showed me. She continues making her way to the edge of the village, and she does show you a tree. It's larger, about 4 feet wide, made out of thicker, darker wood, and the leaves on it are a brown red that are much longer than what you would normally see. I guess just stand next to it. I'm not exactly sure what you're expecting.
I'll handle it from here. She'll take off her amulet of proof against detection and location and hand it to Anthony.
He holds it. I got your flower.
My what? It's a crystal, not a flower. Did you hit your head?
I did several times.
She'll get situated next to the tree and cast sending.
Mhm.
Hello, Aiden. Found something that may restore May's memory. Can you come pick it up? I'm standing next to a big tree. Last sending.
It takes a few moments. It actually takes about 5 to 10 minutes for a response. And at first you don't think they're gonna respond at all, but then you hear, yes, Lucy, dear. I could in a bit. I will scry on you then. And see, where exactly is it that you are, though?
She can't respond. That was her last sending.
God, he's like, oh God, okay,
Can you?
That's why she said last sending.
yeah.
Do you have any other spell slots above third?
Nope.
Because you can always.
Not as a wizard.
No, it's fine. There's it's like 15-minute wait. If he realizes, like, oh God, last sending, fine.
She's fine to just sit there and wait. She's
Yeah.
taking out the knitting that Fibble left with her.
Mm-hmm.
It looks horrible.
Anthony's just like, oh.
Navarra is just comfortable. She's like laying on Rollins' head, like putting her arms on top. Just waiting to see what happens. And it's about 20 minutes, but you hear a loud cracking noise from the tree as it opens up with a bit of a glow, and then you see the familiar visage of Aiden come in. Rollin, you have yet to meet Aiden, but he is a seemingly elvish man, pale skin, blue eyes, very light, almost white blonde hair. And he has a circlet around his head that is made up of branches, and it kind of comes up. He's very lovely, fine robes as he walks in, and he looks around. Well, this is interesting. Hello. Hi,
Thank you for
Lucy dear.
coming. Ismina. Pleasure to see you again.
Hi, Ismina dear. Who are your friends? What can I do to help?
Anthony.
I
Also went
died.
through a bit of a change. And this is Rowlin, Grandbrook.
Pleasure, Aiden.
Pleasure's mine.
Elders of the Shantari Islands, and you, and he'll kind of talk to Navarra, and she gives a gracious bow and introduces herself as a council member and guide to the village. They introduce himself. So, what is this that you had that could help? Ismina.
She just kicks Anthony in the shin.
Ow! Yes. Pulls out the little memory ball, hands it to Aiden. No, you have to, shows him how to open it, but doesn't open it. And then you press here, and the compartment should flick open.
He presses it.
No, you have to, shows him how to do the sequence with.
Okay.
You have to physically,
Uh-huh.
turn it and right, and if you don't
Yes.
do this, you have to do this part, and then click it.
All right, and he kind of just, no, you have to, you said turn and just click it.
Take it back from him. Oh, no, please don't break this.
Why don't you write down the directions for him and we'll send them back?
This seems lots more difficult. What is it, first of all?
It appears to hold memories. We took it off the slaver who had May.
So it's possible that this would hold his memories then.
Possibly. Anthony experienced one of them, couldn't tell whose exactly it was.
All right. Do you know which compartment holds their memories?
He's good. Begrudgingly starts to show Aiden how to open it once more. And you do it like this, and then slide it this way, then click it up here.
Okay. You open one
Reaches around,
compartment.
presses the compartment.
You open one compartment. All right. This is their memory.
Yes.
All right. Does this hold more than one memory?
I'm not sure. I didn't explore further than the one because, to be frank, they're not my memories.
And you're sure this one's specifically May's?
No, I have no idea whose it is.
We were hoping some magic users on your island, since May is there, could work it out. And
I mean, leave it with me, and I could probably put it together in a week if I focus on that.
We will be able to handle it if you're all right with that, but it may take some time.
Yep, so please don't break it.
We're not going to break it, Anthony. We don't know how many compartments this has and how many memories it contains, so it might take some time.
as long as it gets done, I think that's what matters.
Yes.
It
Oh,
will
right.
get done.
I'll write down the instructions for you. And please, don't break it.
Anthony, this is very important to May, who I've been looking after this entire time. I will not break it. I have very delicate hands.
All right.
All right.
Very slowly hand the ball over.
Takes it.
I want it back when it's empty.
Well, we're not going to empty it. I'm not going to ruin other people's memories.
Well, in time, I assume you're going to find all these people.
Oh, that's part of the deal as well.
No, it's not. However, if it could be made available to any of the asylum seekers once we do know how it works, and someone a part of that can facilitate it. It would be nice.
We'll see what we can do. It is a matter of seeing whose memories, who's, and cataloging them.
We understand.
But we'll treat it with the utmost care. He eyes Anthony.
Just using it as a blueprint for a bigger project, and I kind of just don't want it destroyed because it is a great
They're
foundation.
not going to destroy it. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
I'm
Hold
glad
it.
to see that his personality hasn't changed, unlike his physical self.
10.
Now let it out slowly.
It'll be fine.
It will be fine.
It'll
Sorry,
be
Aiden.
fine.
You were saying?
Glad to see his personality hasn't changed, even though his physical self has.
No, if anything, it's gotten worse.
Ah.
Now he actually knows he's pretty.
Confidence booster. Anyways. I'm not sure of who made it. I'm not sure if it was of Gnomish or Dwarvish make, but I think it might have been a combination of both. So if you have any metal workers on the island, they could trace it.
We'll check to see if there's any witness marks or stamps on it.
Were there any on the collar that you took off of that woman?
There were runes, but I'm not a rune reader. Maybe you are, Aiden. Dig out the color. Show them the runes.
That was used to keep a Triton on land.
How so?
Forcing their gills closed. Mm-hmm.
Give me a moment. And he He kind of hands the sphere back to you, Anthony, for a moment, and he takes a look at the collar. These runes aren't much other than like a alarm system. Though I am not a metal worker, someone who works with mechanical things like dear Anthony here, it seems to be. One second. And kind of looks it over. It takes a few moments with it. These rooms are all connected together, and then it connects to the mechanism. So if the mechanism is unlocked, the runes will activate and will notify someone. It's more of an alarm system, honing beacon, stuff like that.
A homing beacon.
Yes.
Is it still active? Can you tell?
Uh, let me see. His cast, you see his fingers kind of like, glow a little with magic. Well, it is still magical. Um, uh, the alarm has been triggered, but seems not properly. Uh, it doesn't seem like the homing beacon has been triggered. As I said, the three runes connect, so if one goes off, the others need to go off with it. But because the first one, which is about the alarm system, it hasn't been triggered properly, so it has not had the other ones gone off yet.
Anthony, can you stick that in a lead box as well, just in case?
Yep. Put the sword box down, open it, shove the collar, and close it.
Excellent.
That's definitely a piece of equipment you have there.
It is. Would you like to meet the elders before you go?
Of course.
Lucy will lead him
Pleasure.
back towards the tent and just let Navarra take over from there.
Yeah, they'll take over. He'll walk in and introductions will be made. But as that's happening, is there anything that you three would like to do?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it takes a little bit, but you the conversation that you can hear from inside seems good natured, though you cannot understand some of it. And eventually Aiden comes back out. These are very lovely people. Huh. It seems we are in the jungle to the northern side of college. That's interesting. Never been up this far. But uh I will help you, and I will help them as well. I'll inform them of what I know, and they will inform me of what they know. If you will, Anthony. He pulls his hands out for the seer.
Hands it back. Detailed notes. I want detailed notes
You want detailed notes.
of how it works.
Hmm.
It's important.
Right. We'll get you as many details notes as possible. But we will be focusing on retrieving the memories and cataloging them more than how the mechanism works in its entirety.
Of course,
Yeah,
that's very
for
important. It's good
for the
recovery.
people whose memories have been taken by the slavers.
Mm-hmm.
Silverhorn.
Yep.
He gives you a look and then looks to Lucy and Rollin with a quirked eyebrow. Right.
You get used to it after a while.
Still getting used to it.
Right. Well, I'll be off then. And I'll let you know when I find anything.
Thank you.
Miss Mina. Um, Navara guides him back to the tree, and you see the wood, the bark of the tree crack open once more, and with a small flash of magic, he's gone. And with that, we will go on to our break. So go grab a drink, grab some snacks, grab a bathroom break. I don't know why I said that, but we'll be back in 5 minutes. Bye.
Hey y'all, we're back.
And we're back. Our player will be back in just a second, but while we are waiting for him, see Aiden leave. And Navarra does come back and she sees you all. So, where exactly is it that you would want me to take you?
Lucy will pull her map back out and show her the area that she has kind of circled above the river. We know the slave trader took them from around here, and at least one parent survived. So, we're hoping we can find clues, or maybe get lucky and find the parent, or someone who knows them.
It's possible, though. Furbolgs are nomadic and they usually travel in smaller groups or single family units.
I'm aware it's a needle in a haystack, but we have to at least try something.
Alright. I mean, we do have some Furbolg contacts that we've made trade with.
Anyone you can reach out to quickly.
Yes, at least to keep an eye out as well if they do not know anything. Uh, give me a moment. I need to talk to someone. And she will leave for a second. While I drink some coffee. Um, she goes into a smaller hut that you've seen that from like the bigger council chambers. And she just walks in, and it takes a few moments. But she does come back out. Well, my current contacts don't know too much. They are aware that something happened. I think there was a rather larger nomadic unit that took in a older furbolg.
Do they have any idea on where they may be, or what their route is?
Not that I know of, no. These are all just things that are said in passing when the groups pass each other or meet up. Sometimes they will camp together if they cross paths for safety, but it's word of mouth.
Lucille looked to Anthony. Should we still try? Just walk along the river until we hit the coast?
Yes. We should always try.
All right. Well, once Rowland's ready to go, I guess we're ready to set out when you are.
All right. You'll need a few things, but I mean, I can definitely take you to the river. You could also wait until I hear back from more people. I did ask them to keep an eye out.
We have other matters to attend to elsewhere, unfortunately.
All right.
But I'm always just a sending spell or paper bird away, if you do hear anything.
I will let you know then. But I will get ready, and I will be right back. Do you all have everything that you need?
I think
Yep.
so, because I think we way overbought on supplies.
Yeah. Right. Just...
We're like, we're going to the desert, we're going to the snow, we're just gonna find the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just know that nature here is lots more different than the where you're from.
I picked up a baby Remoraz. I think we're pretty good.
Yeah. Well,
I thought it was a bunny.
she looks to you. Good luck. And then she goes back to her own home to pack up. But as you do pack up, Jania does come out of the building, and she looks to all you. I can help you as well with. I did give Rollin some salves, but do you need anything else?
No,
Whiskey.
I thought you didn't like whiskey.
I
Don't have to
wouldn't.
like it to get drunk on it.
Yep.
We do
Rum.
rum. Rum we do have. We do also have fermented fruit wine.
Whatever you have sounds good.
Hmm. A
Planning on getting
bottle?
hammered.
Apparently. I wouldn't suggest it out in the jungle, but to each their own.
Hmm. Later.
Alright. She'll go to her own home, and then come back out with a bottle, uh, of, uh, of, it's a clear bottle and it has like a very nice, rich, dark, liquid in it, with a red tint to it, with fruit floating in it, and she'll hand it to you. And this one. And it's just a stouter bottle of rum.
Thanks.
All right.
Put them away in my bag.
Okay. Do be careful. You should be fine with Nevada guiding you. Though, just watch out for any creepy crawlies, yeah?
I'll distribute the pots of salve, one for Anthony, one for Lucy, one for myself.
Mm-hmm. And before you leave, Rollin, Janya holds up a thing. He's like, "Oh, this is for you. While you were gone, I compiled some notes on my medical journals. I thought you'd be interested in them."
Here, here I am. I didn't get you anything.
Oh, don't worry, darling. You're fine. You've helped me quite a lot.
If I get the chance, I'll send some of the medical books that I have over to you.
Oh, that'd be lovely. And she'll show you. It's a small journal. She had, because you kind of freed up her time with the patients when you first came. She had a lot of time to just kind of like write. And she kind of hands you a freshly written on journal. And it does have some medical drawings on it, specifically of the anatomy and how to treat certain things here, and a few recipes.
Roland gets a wiry smile and he just says, I'm sorry, dear, but you wouldn't make it as a doctor. Your penmanship's too neat.
Hmm. I tried really hard. You should see my own notes. You can
Everything is
only
chicken scratches.
everything is, as someone who has various doctors in her family, yes, it's all just um but yeah, I that's because I tried to make it legible for you. My own notes not so legible. Ah, but here you go. If you ever have a way to get in contact or happy to come back, I'm more than happy to share notes with you again. It's not always that I receive an expert medical professional from another side of the world.
He'll give her a bow.
Hmm. Oh, nonsense. And she'll kind of pull you into a hug.
Oh.
And it's funny because her hair things kind of wrap around you too.
Uh,
They don't strangle you, but they just kind of like, boop.
pat, pat.
It
Yeah.
was lovely to meet you, all of you.
Lovely to meet you. You and yours.
Thank you. Well, should you ever should you ever happen to stop by here, come and say hi. And she'll wave and leave. And by that time, Navarre will come back, and she's outfitted more for the jungle this time than the desert. Uh, and she has her hair tied up in a tight braid, uh, and a backpack full of supplies. And she looks all of you ready.
Let's
We'll ever
go.
be.
Okay. Um, and you see her heading off towards like there's a natural entrance and exit to this village, and she says goodbye to a few people, like wave at them as you exit out. But after a few moments, the village itself starts fading behind you, and you start seeing yourself. You start being encroached by the jungle once more. The sound of bugs and jungle life a lot more apparent when you're surrounded by the trees and nature. Um, but as you're walking, she kind of looks behind all of you. You feel very interesting. How exactly did you come across this situation?
His husband hired me on to be his medical practitioner.
Hmm. Are you ill?
Uh, that's a complex question. Physically, no. Mentally, probably.
Ah, wounds and scars come in all shapes and sizes, both physical and not. It is a part of life. Well, I
Yes.
changed her accent. It is a part of life.
Yes. I think it's to be no offense to Mr. Ryland. I think it's more of an overreaction by my recent death and resurrection.
That'll do it.
Considering the number of monsters I've pulled you out of, I don't think it was an overreaction.
You've gotten swallowed
Yeah,
by monsters.
a lot of I hit things a lot. I'm in the front a lot.
He also doesn't look where he's going a lot.
Hmm. Please keep an eye out when we're out here. Well, I will point things out. It is up to you to make sure you avoid them, yes? The simplest flower could be very deadly. At least to you.
Please don't kill the body I've come accustomed to.
Oh, I won't kill you. That's up to you. I can. What is that? I heard a saying. A visitor say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, or something like that.
Yes, thank you. Well, as a whole, came into this thing because, well,
Because our employer asked us to.
Hmm. You must be getting paid pretty copper, huh?
Enough.
she, yep.
All right. Well, hmm. We shall see how you do in this situation. Don't step on that, and she'll point to something that Anthony was about to step on.
Okay.
It'll release spores, and you'll be paralyzed for a few minutes.
What is it?
It's a plant that will
Takes that.
release spores, and you'll be paralyzed for a few minutes. I don't know how much clearer I could make this.
Makes a note in his book. Stepping around the plant.
All right. And she'll take you along. She'll point out a few other things that you should avoid. Which it's very interesting how while she has a white snake lower body, she's able to maneuver it very delicately around things. Um, but you make your way through the jungle with her, making sure that you don't kill yourselves or get killed by something. Uh, 1 second. Uh, no, there we go. As the sun sets, you can see. You only travel for a few hours since you headed out that same day, but she finds a safe enough camping ground to set things up. So then she will point out where to do it. If you have tents, I suggest you get a. Oh, I brought extras, and she takes out a mosquito net.
Oh, well, I have a house.
Still, it'd be a good idea to keep a mosquito net handy. Malaria, dengue, that sort of thing. I doubt you've all had your immunity shots.
I had to have them.
You have to have your immunity shots if you're out here in the jungle.
Turns to Lucy.
We're working on it. Anyways, take out the little house
You've
and chuck it on the
had
ground.
shots throughout your life. You just don't know what they were.
This one was tequila.
I'll find a clearing big enough for the house just to plop it down.
Roll me a D4.
Oh boy! We die. 1.
1. Okay. As you find a clearing, you're able to put down your house. But as it gets bigger in size and squishes some of the flora, there you go, on the ground, you see a few puffs of like what seems milk, but looking closer, it is spores. And she just stands there like, don't breathe.
Take a step back. Not breathing.
She's breathing normally, it doesn't affect her. Told you to watch out for those plants now, didn't I?
I can collect the spores and use them into my project.
I mean, they survive long enough.
Could they be dried out?
Possibly. I would tell you how, but it's a village secret.
Of course.
Hmm.
Make a note. He writes it down. When everything's done, I'll have to come back to you.
Of course. You're more than welcome. All of you are more than welcome to come back. And she gives Raleigh a wink.
I think that's my cue. Excuse me.
But you are able to set up. She still suggests that you put the mosquito nets like around the edges.
Mm-hmm. I'll put it like at the door and the windows.
Yeah. Like, doors and windows. I'm going to camp outside. I like to know what's around me. Your walls are too obscured too much.
Sure. Do you want points to Freyr soon? Want one of them with you?
No, I should be fine.
Okay.
But thank you. She sets up. It's not really a tent because it has an open. It's mostly just mosquito nets, to be honest. But she kind of like curls up in her own tail and just kind of lays there. She's not going to sleep yet. She's aware of her surroundings. But she's almost serving guard outside of the home. Do any of you want to take watch?
I'll take first watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Second.
meditate the last 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You taking one, Rollin?
Yes, second watch.
Okay, second watch. Okay. It is a total of 8 hours. So you're taking 4 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rollin, are you taking the 4 or just 2?
He'll take 4 and then like
Lucy
sleep
can
4, wake up for 4, sleep 4.
Lucy can take 2 hours of the
Okay.
watch.
Yeah. Navarra can take 4 hours if any of you want to take watch with her.
Anthony will. I mean, he can meditate for.
Okay.
He's a drow now. He doesn't need as long of a rest.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a 2 hour or like
Mhm.
whatever. But are you taking your watch outside with her?
I think for the first 2 hours, and then and then I'll go inside because working on projects.
Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. Um. doo-doo-doo-doo. Here we go. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. With advantage.
Disadvantage. 19.
19. Okay. Um. You're out there with her. She doesn't talk with you unless you initiate a conversation. Not in like a ignoring you way, but she's just
Mm-hmm.
relaxing. Just but gives you a respectful nod when you come out. Um and you do hear movement in the jungle itself. Um and there are certain noises that alarm you that you're not familiar with, but Navarra doesn't seem too preoccupied by them. And she looks at you and says, if you do not engage with it, it won't engage with you, don't worry.
What is it called?
It, whatever is in the jungle. Most things. Uh, you can find many things. There are some treants here, though I don't think in this area. They mostly like to live near the river where there's a good source of water. Uh, there's a few trolls, lizard folk, apes, living vegetation. There's some kanku, crocodiles, tigers, some blights, of the sorts.
Ents.
Treants, yes.
Okay.
But those are just the bigger ones. There are smaller things. It's like any other natural habitats. There are many things that coexist. And you should definitely watch out for the snakes.
Oh,
She gives you
hmm?
a grin.
We kind of encountered one already, I think.
Well, you
Maybe.
survived.
Sure. I mean, Bibble did blast one of our other party members half to death.
Don't suggest you do that. But hey,
Hmm.
she kind of leaves you to your watch, and as you go back in, you can the rest of your watch happens again. You hear more noises from the jungle, but take if you take her advice, if you don't engage with it, they won't engage with you
Mhm. And
most
I'll
of the
be
time.
working on a new paper and a project for the artifacts we're working with.
Yeah, we can talk about that after game.
Mhm.
Um, next, Rollin, you're taking second watch. Are you taking it outside or inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, she will.
Yes.
Much like with Anthony, she'll invite you into her little mosquito net hut area.
Oh yeah. And probably curls up with her, takes her hand, and just starts filing at her claws.
Yeah, she's just resting. She doesn't do like a deep rest, but she's just relaxed. Uh, you can easily like cuddle into like the big curls of like the snake tail.
Oh, it's like a recliner sort of deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But I got a 19 for a perception check.
19 for a perception check. All right. Um, you do see a bit. You do hear some movement that does sound more constant than the other uh jungle noises that you hear. It's not a animal popping up to see. It's more of a constant walking further away from the camp. Um, and the footsteps do sound like they're coming closer.
Hmm. Looks like we got company.
Who is it?
Hold on, I'm almost finished with this one.
Oh, nice and sharp. You sure you don't want to stay in the village?
I've got business.
All right. Well, you're welcome whenever you want. She kind of kisses the top of your head. Um, but uh, she kind of looks to where you point. Uh, Maybe they won't notice. I hate dealing with them. She'll point out to the little here, let me da, da, the little humanoid shapes that you see in the back uh towards the tree lines. They are what you would call myconid.
Like a fungi, not like an entertaining individual, but like a mushroom man or woman or non-binary.
I believe they're like non-binary. I don't think mushrooms really have a gender.
Hmm. Hostile?
Sometimes. And she'll kind of like stretch up. We'll see what. Usually they kind of force you into like a trade of some sorts.
That's pretty hostile.
Yeah, I mean, they're not that horrible. They're just annoying.
All right, let's get this over with.
And she stretches out and goes to her full height and stands next to you as she slithers over to the edge of the camp and kind of stops them in their track. And with a bit of a more serious voice, she looks to them. Uh, and here we go. And speaks to them in common, which they seem to understand. Funnily enough, she's like, "Well, what do you want?" And they chitter between them, and uh, they kind of look around her and look to you, and one of them steps up. We heard of a new visitor in the jungle. They look to you.
A good meal in the jungle? Hmm.
A new visitor.
Oh, new visitor.
Mhm.
Wow, tired.
It's
Well, tell them we're just passing through.
fine. I will.
Oh, wait, they understand.
Yeah.
We're just passing through.
Hmm. Looks to you, looks to Navarro. She just gives him a quirked eyebrow. They can make their own
Ron's gonna
trades and
stand next to her
stuff.
and then like
Yeah.
hook his arm into her arm. What?
Looks down to them. They kind of look to you. Hmm. What do these new visitors have to offer?
Peace
Hmm.
in exchange for peace.
Hmm. You hear more chattering, and you see like these little humanoid figures, and they are all different types of fungus, that just looks to have like arms and legs. um, Yeah, and they're actually holding weapons like spears and bows and stuff. But they look to you. Hmm. We can provide you with safer passage for trade. Yes.
No, I think we're good.
Hmm.
Thank you, though. It's not that I have prejudice against Myconids. I much prefer someone I know more intimately. Pats Navarra's arm.
Well, we would not guide you. We would simply prevent our other brethren from not harassing you.
You know, this isn't a choice I should make. I should really talk to my employer about this. Give me a moment. Anthony.
But
Anthony.
peeks out. I'm sleeping.
There are some Myconids here who want to give us safe passage through the jungle.
We already have safe passage.
I know, it's more like they could prevent their brethren from attacking us.
Get up and go out in my nightgown. Look down at them.
Other visitors, huh?
You want something?
What do visitors have to offer to Myconids?
Snap my fingers, spray appears. Take this and go away. I'm going back to bed.
Hmm. We have no use for this shiny ball.
Now look, tap her and she explodes with force.
Is she exploding in their hands?
No, she'll like do the cannon thing, like fire cannon, force cannon off. Protection for you, protection for us. Leave us alone. Tell your friends, leave us alone.
You hear more chittering, and Navarre looks to you like, you, that's going to make them even more annoying. You can make your own deals, though. And the mechanic that's looking to all of you just say that speaking for all of them. This is acceptable trade.
Good.
Weapon for safety. You will not have problem with brethren.
I'll get down on their level. If any of you little shits bother us or your friends bother us, I can make this thing disappear so fast, you won't even know what happened.
We can make you go make an intimidation check. Make an intimidation roll.
Sure. I'm gonna use one of those nat 20s Mecca gifted us for a grand total of 27.
Intimidate the fungus people. We are true to our word. We with trade, we do not wish to seek problems. No problems. Trade, fair deal, fair trade. No problems for you. No problems for us.
Good. This only lasts as long as we're in the jungle. Get that?
Make a persuasion roll. With advantage because they're intimidated.
Okay. 1 second. Persuasion. 16.
16. Fair trade. No bother while you in jungle. It's fine. Protection for us while we are in jungle. That's good trade.
All right. Going back to bed. Pull my nightgown back around me, go back into the hut, and go back to sleep.
Good trade with new visitors. Good trade. They look to you, Rollin. Interesting trait. And you see one of them just has Freya just poking, see which one's the on button. Accidentally blows one of one of their. You hear like a as one of them just gets forced back.
Nice one, Freya.
She honks.
Navarra leans down to you, Rollin. They're going to kill themselves with that. You know that, right?
It's fine.
Okay.
If I turn around, I can have the deniability. It's all right.
Okay. Uh, they kind of give a respectful nod to you and a nod to Navarra. They even say, Navarra, pleasure to see you again. And she's just like, go, leave. Leaving.
All right, where were we? He flips out the file again.
My other hand.
Yes. You want these
Uh.
painted? I could make like a sort of paint with red berries in your venom.
Oh, I would love that. She just uh folds her hands over like a little ridge of her tail, so they're out for you. Are you sure you don't want to stay? I enjoy your company much too much.
I go wherever my patients need me.
That
But
is
it
fair.
wouldn't be a bad idea to come vacation every now and again.
I could show you some of the less deadly sights that the jungle has to offer.
Oh, but where's the fun in that?
I said the less deadly, not deadly. But you spend some time painting her nails with venom. And we'll come to the last wash for Lucy. At this point, Navarre is asleep. Uh, but if you do have soon, you also get advantage.
Students with you.
She rolled a 17.
17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Much like your two other party members, you do hear strange noises that you're not used to. A lot of bugs. Are you taking watch inside or outside?
She'll take it from inside.
Okay. The net seems to be working just fine, as you see a few smaller mosquitoes and bugs trapped in it. And you see Navarra sleeping right outside the house, freshly painted nails, and with a 17. You do notice some movement up in the trees from above, and a few slow blinks at you at the strangeness of the house. But after a few moments of these eyes staring at you, they seem to move on. But other than that, your watch comes by peacefully. And you are awakened with a knock on the door by Navarra as soon as she's packed up early in the morning. Come on, get up. It's better to travel through daylight.
Lucy will help wake up the others and get them moving.
Get dressed and go out in the pause. I gave Freya to a bunch of mushroom people last night.
You did.
Why did you do that?
One of them blew themselves up. It was pretty funny.
I don't know why I did that, but I did. I think I was tired.
Taking the path of least resistance means more sleep.
Correct. I just don't like being woken up, that's all.
That's fair. I get pretty cranky when I get woken up.
Anyways, Freya's be fine. If she dies, she comes back. Anyways.
Are you all ready to go? We have much more traveling to do. It's not as it's not a smoother path as it was in the desert.
Let's step on some spore things and travel through snake-infested jungles.
That's true. It's not infested. This is where we live. If anything, you're infesting this jungle.
All right, human drow infested jungles.
I'm a half elf.
To be fair, he infests most things. So he pulls out a ration and just starts munching and walking.
If I use Lesser Restoration on you, do I just cure the world of you, or?
No, you had to have greater restoration.
Oh. Don't get that till later.
All right, let's go.
As they walk and talk, Lucy will contact her patron and give an update on their movement.
All right, and where are you heading after the jungle?
Walking along the river, see if we can find anything leading to May's family. If not, probably hit a town, head back. Or we can stay here if you want to send Echo to meet us, and they can take the artifact back to court.
Possible. They do not know the jungles. They would not have a way of getting back exactly.
I thought they had the ability to teleport.
No. They do, but not like you. It's because we have different circles in different areas. At least they do.
Well, at the end of the river, the closest city is Blackmere, so if you want them to meet us there, we can head that way.
Possible, yes. Alright, just... You have it all saved. And
Yes,
box,
Anthony
you
built
said?
a box for it.
Alright. Then once you get to Blackmere, I'll have Echo meet you there. The Shadow is still doing your little scheming in Moonberry.
I hope it's going well.
They know how to do their job.
Good. I hope they're enjoying themselves. It's a lovely city.
Darling, I doubt Shadow ever enjoys themselves. But Blackmere it is. Let me know when you're there. And I'll send Echo. Yes?
Sounds good.
Alright.
And she would have also told her about the memory thing that they left with Aiden, and that he may be contacting her if he discovers memories of anyone else who's gone through Lucy's little witness protection program.
Alright, she thanks you. Tells her that she'll put that into her plans. But as you do travel throughout the jungle, you do see various sights. You do get to avoid certain things because Navara is guiding you. But you... here we go. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yes, but you do see some really beautiful sights towards the there's the one point that you get a little bit closer to the mountains again, as she deems it safer to travel closer to the edge. And you do see some really beautiful caves that even from the outside, you are able to see. They have a luminescent glow from inside. Um, oops. But she also points out a few flowers that are, at first they don't look like mesh. They kind of blend into the scenery around them. But she says she shushes you and takes like a small uh um rock and throws it into the flower, and you see like uh parts of it that you didn't see that were pretty well blended kind of just snap up, and you see these gnarly teeth on it as it closes around uh the rock. That's
I
why you
want
watch where you're stepping.
I want 6 of them.
Mm, they don't do too well in groups, I will say. If you don't feed them properly, they'll start eating each other.
I'll space them out.
When they get big enough, they can walk.
Amazing. I want 10 of them.
uh, they don't like things. They're not really trainable, like, they just,
Oh, they're not for me. They're for a project.
alright. But as you make your way through the jungle, there is another night's rest. As she did say, this would be a longer um, ride, a longer travel time than the desert, since it is a little harder to get through. But you can set up like you did the night before. Um, she'll point out where to do it so you don't mess with any of the more dangerous smaller plants. But you can take the same watch should you wish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll continue on my project during my 4-hour watch.
You can do that. And just the three of you can roll me a perception check as you do yours. As you do yours. Uh, hmm. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Your watches.
It's 28.
28. Okay. Uh, and what else? You're muted.
2.
2.
I'm busy.
You're distracted by a snake. A very lovely snake lady.
There's a snake in my boot. In my bed.
Lucy, what did you roll?
Lucy rolled a 9, so I'm going to use one of the nat 20s from our wonderful subs.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
subs.
Um, you're all camping. Ooh, sorry, stretchies. You're all camping near the mountains. So you're protected from one side. You're almost just looking out towards the jungle, similar to the first time you camped where Navarra found you. But you're taking first watch, right, Anthony?
Yes.
Okay, and you're meditating.
After my watch, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. With the two, Rollin, you don't notice much. You just kind of sitting and lounging with Navarra, uh, or whatever it is that you wish to be doing. Um, but
Lounging.
lounging, yeah. She paints your nails. uh, she returns the favor, smiles, and paints your nails. Um, but as towards the end, in Lucy's watch, Anthony, you make me a wisdom saving throw.
6.
6. All right. Um, what is it that Anthony meditates over when he does his trance?
He is currently going through the build he wants to make. Like he's just going over the finer points so he gets them down pat. So he knows the math, he knows the angles and shape he wants to take for it, and he's just repeating that build over and over in his head currently. And it's mostly long equations.
All right. As you're going through, let's see. Uh, as you're going through your meditation, uh, you you see your vision, these mathematical equations, these builds, almost like these tendrils of darkness just encompassing them and changing the formulas, changing the equation, and almost overtaking the build that you're doing uh, until it all takes on this black hue. And you hear what sounds familiar, but you believe you've never heard it before. And a voice almost right next to your ear. You did very well, Silverhorn.
Just turns slightly to the voice. I try.
I see that you got your sword.
It won't be staying with me for long, but
It won't.
I can't keep it.
And why not?
People want it.
Many people want the sword. But you put in all the work.
At a cost.
Yes. Everything comes at a cost. Knowledge comes at a cost. Silverhorn. And you feel almost clawed hands kind of grip your shoulders from behind. But this is knowledge. This weapon was made for people like you. People that are willing to go against the norm. People that are willing to take one step forward into the unknown. Heretics and those that go against the laws that have been imposed upon them by some semblance of order.
Order is all we have.
No, dear Anthony. Your order is but a semblance of protection. A thin wall against you and the chaos of the world. Everything is chaos. Order, government, rules, laws, they're only put there by those who think they can control chaos, that want to protect themselves. Yet they're the ones that create even more chaos.
What does the sword do?
Many things.
I can't use it. I would fall to the corruption as the angel did.
Maybe. Or maybe you'll succeed where she failed. She was quick-willed, took on more than she could chew, and thus paid her price.
I'm not divine. I would fall.
Such a waste, such a shame. The things you could do, the knowledge that it would bring, the people it would take down and that are in your way, would help you do what you wish to create, to protect. Is that not what you want? Protect those around you. Defeat any threat that comes by you.
More than anything in the world.
Your answer is right there. Nothing comes without risk. I'm sure you're aware. But if you wish to throw away a chance that was given to you, marked yourself as weak-willed before even trying. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's not for you. It might find its way back to other hands. We shall see.
Risk propels us forward.
Mhm. What is what is knowledge, invention, creation, chaos? It is learning from risks, from failures, from others' failure.
I have a plan.
There we go, dear. There we go. These things are made for people like you. Those that are willing to take the risk. You have not disappointed yet.
I can collect them all into one place.
You could.
I would hold the key.
Mm-hmm. You can bring about a new age of knowledge.
The new age of enlightenment.
Exactly. Maybe you will find the key to creating order out of chaos. For what is magic but not chaos, given a semblance of order?
I have a plan.
Yes, you do, dear. I'm excited to see it. You feel like a pat on your cheek. And your vision goes back to normal. Lucy, with your natural 20, you do notice if you look over to Anthony, he seems to be mumbling things to himself in his trance.
Is she able to make out what he's mumbling?
Um, no. Once you get close enough, you realize that none of it makes sense.
Alright.
It's garbled. But other than that, and what you have come to know what are the natural sounds of the jungle, your watch passes by. The morning comes.
I'll go over to Rylan after I wake up. Just kind of prod him awake. So I worked on it a bit last night to take it off my very long, ever-growing list. But I think I have come up with an idea and concept. It took some finagling, but I think I've got it.
Mr. Silverhorn, he says as he like slaps him on the face, beating around the bush.
Right. A pacemaker that's not dependent on magic. So you will have more than an hour.
Right. That's actually very good.
Of course it's very good. I'm very clever.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to untangle myself.
Oh. Just throw the covers back over them and go back to my bed.
You feel the her serpentine body like squeeze you a little bit before letting go.
Good God. Big stretch. Okay.
stretchies.
He'll look over the plans.
Basically, a pacemaker that allows electrical shocks to intermit when magic is no longer present to keep your heart going.
Well, this will be good for when I need to take a break. I don't keep it on all the time. Thank you, Anthony.
It's not a finalized thing, but I do need testing, and I don't want tests on you, so
Where else are you going to find a subject with my condition?
well, I can mimic a heartbeat, and it's not weird. I promise, it's not.
You've never had a board of ethics, have you? Like a committee? You've never had to present any of your ideas to a committee before.
I'm a war criminal. Of course not.
I read that in your dossier. Of course you wouldn't have an ethics committee.
It was highlighted. War criminal. Has broken many Geneva conventions.
Ethics are sound and good, but in practicality, yes, we will do an ethics board because I am a sane person.
Thank you.
Well, that's definitely a debatable phrase.
Miss Lucy, can I borrow that stress ball again?
Tosses it to him.
When he squeezes it, the tongue like shoots out.
But as you're having the conversation and packing up, you are currently right about here in the map. And Navarra does let you know that about another day or so, and you should be on the coast of the Bloodstone River. So you do travel throughout the day, and again, with her help, there isn't much danger. She does stop you a few times to kind of just hide from other beings that live in this forest, like lizard people. She lets you know that some of them are tolerant, others attack on sight, and there's only one way to find out if you'd rather not. But you hide for a bit, but eventually, at the end of the day, you do make it to the edge of the Bloodstone River, and you can see it crosses like it's a few miles wide. It's kind of hard to see even the other side of it. It's one of the natural barriers that this jungle area has, aside from the mountains. But you are where you wish. Are you looking for anything specific?
Just people. They'll just travel along the river looking for anyone or anything that might indicate it was where May has been taken. It's been weeks, so there wouldn't be any physical evidence. Lucy knows that.
Roll me a d4.
One.
All right. As you travel the river, she does keep guiding you as you see that there's a lot of life, jungle life there. You do see a few tigers along the edge of the river drinking. Um, they seem to have developed to be able to. The Bloodstone River is called Bloodstone because it does run red with deposits of, because it does have deposit of bloodstone, which is a red stone that gives the water its red color. But these animals don't seem to mind that. But along the riverside, you do see a few more uh, humanoid-like creatures. Another similar tribe of UNT members, which she waves to you, has uh, a small pleasant conversation with them, and she does ask them about any um, news from Furbolg's any similar, if they've heard anything similar, or if they know the parent that is still alive. Um, Let me roll for it. Okay. Much of the same rumor. They know that there was a tribe that was a nomadic group that was attacked, and another group did take in a few new members, but nothing of the sorts. They were warned to stay away from the edge of the river during nighttime, but nothing else.
You know, it's been a while since we've been this far north. Didn't like it then, don't like it now.
When were you this far north?
15 years ago.
15. Oh yes, didn't your people have a war?
Something like that.
Yes, there's a patch of land over there that's been ruined.
I hope nobody goes into it.
Is that going to be a problem for us?
Not unless you're going all the way east. I mean, yeah, east. No, I do not mean to offend, but there's a lot of people from your kingdom that do not know how to coexist with nature. They destroy it. Try to control it, give it some sort of semblance of order. Then turn kill it.
Sometimes chaos is better.
Chaos, I know chaos. The jungle is chaos, but you learn to weave through it. You learn to see the patterns in it.
It is all just patterns, isn't it?
Yes.
Chaos really, in my opinion, it only is really good for two types of people: those who can navigate it and those who start it. For everyone else caught in the crossfire, it's just that.
Chaos for the fly is peace for the spider.
Exactly.
I think your brother wrote that.
Why is everybody reading his book? For
It's
sake.
very informative. You should check it out.
It is.
I arrested him for writing that book. I know what it says.
And you're the war criminal.
Yes!
We should travel with his brother. I like his brother better than him.
He has a wife and 2 children.
So
You have a husband and a daughter.
actually,
have
he has 2 daughters.
3, 4. 4. Freya and Kristoff.
Just because you're married doesn't mean you're not capable.
Yes, but Mickelson is not one for this sort of thing. He's more of a localized anarchist.
I thought you were about to say crime.
No, that would be giving him far too much credit.
I think I need to help him out with a few things when we go back.
Do not encourage him. What have you done?
What do you mean?
You know, I'm glad you got to know him. I'm glad you got to read the book. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't see why you're freaking out.
They're gonna camp out for the day after doing this. Roland actually goes into his pack and pulls out a collapse. Like it's a small cylinder. He flicks it out, and it turns into a fishing rod.
Gotta get some carp.
Now, we'll see. I don't know what's exactly in these waters. You'll bait it in.
Navara
What?
looks in with a quirked eye. I do like a man who knows how to use a rod.
Wink.
Wink. But if you're camping out for the day, anyone else can roll me a d4 for me.
Tress.
Tress. Okay. So, as you're camping out for the night, Navarre will kind of teach you about the different fish and wildlife that kind of wildlife. That's the word I've been looking for this entire session. Uh, teaches you about the different kinds of fish and uh creatures that live in the river. Sometimes a fish is not what you'll pull out, but she'll guide you over to the safer areas to fish. But closer to sunset, you do notice a group, uh, maybe 5, 6 people, much taller than you, um, come out of the jungle tree line. They're a bit ways away, but by the height and what you can tell, they are furbolgs as well.
Lucy will approach them and say hi.
They look to you, and you see they all have very soft fur. Some of them have more gray tones, others brown tones, some with a really nice reddish tone. And there are different heights to them. So you see that some have uh longer hair in the front, others have shorter fur on their bodies. But one of them will come up to you, and they seem to be a woman, decorated in a lot of beaded necklaces and protective but very decorated clothing. Hello.
We're actually searching for a larger Furbolg tribe in the area. You wouldn't happen to be from a large tribe, would you?
Uh, she kind of looks back. It depends. What are you asking me to help you?
We're looking for someone's father. A Furbolg child named May. They were separated from their father. We're trying to reunite them.
Make a persuasion check.
22.
22. She looks you over, and even though she has a very soft voice, her eyes seem to be analyzing you in a way. We do come from a larger group.
Anyone there who's lost a child in the past? How long has it been? Probably 2 months?
Oh, months?
Mhm.
I can look like the child, but not just. I disguise self to look like May. May look like this.
Well, I have not heard of a lost child, but we did receive a new member. A man who seems to be in distress, hurt badly, but he did not say what happened.
Oh,
Are
that
the-
sounds up.
Are they nearby? Can we talk to them?
I can bring them over should you wish. Though we would appreciate if you would talk with him with us around.
Whatever works for them.
We do have a physician here who can help him.
We do as well. He has been recuperating. One moment, please. She'll talk to her smaller group, and they wait by the river, set up their things. They seem to have been also there to fish and catch some river life, I suppose. but after a few moments, you do see her come out with a much larger, for a little wider, um, um, in their silhouette, and as they approach you, you do see they do have patches where the fur hasn't regrown of scar, and a very sad look to their eyes as you see their expression. With that, we'll cut it there, as it is time, and we'll see next week what happens and if this is May's father. With that,
Excellent.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank
Go
you
ahead. Let's
everyone
do
so much for
some.
watching.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Raiders, if you stuck around with us. We're gonna do some outros, and then we got some channel stuff that you might want to stick around and hear. So, Satan, start us off.
Thank you everybody so much for watching. We'll be back in the same bat channel, same bat time here with the next episode. We'll see what happens with this Furbolg family group child. With that, we'll do a few little outros. I will start with myself. Hi, I am Satan. I'm your DM. And you can find me in various places, but that doesn't matter because in this channel, instead of giving away our information, which you can find down there anywhere else, we talk about some charities that we support. I like to support the Loveland Foundation. The Loveland Foundation, it is a foundation that provides Black women and girls with free therapy sessions with a culturally comprehensive therapist. And they work with different let me get that for you. They work with different groups such as Therapy for Black Girls, National Queer and Trans Therapists of Color Network, Toss Space, and the Open Path Collective. So every time you donate to this fund, you're helping a black woman or girl get access to free mental health care, which is I've always been an advocate for. Any links are in the chat that our awesome host and producer has made easy for you to just click and see what it is about. But that's enough for me. Let's go with our newest permanent member, RJ.
Hey everybody, I'm RJ at RJ282, but today I'll be championing the Black Visuals Collective, which is a Black, trans, and queer-led organization that is committed to dismantling systems of oppression and violence. Sadly, they are not currently taking any donations, but check out their site where they list other sites with just as equal purposes. Yeah, I think that's it for me. I don't have anything else to say.
That's fine. Thank you for that, RJ. Next, we'll go to Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm championing the Bail Project. It is a nonprofit organization that combats mass incarceration by disrupting the money bail system one person at a time. They restore the presumption of innocence, reunite families, and challenge a system that criminalizes race and poverty. They have a mission to end the cash bail and create a more just and equitable and humane free trial system.
Thank you for that. And last but certainly not least, our lovely host and producer, Sarah.
Hey guys. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name's Sarah. I am championing what is the charities channel, or the channel's charity of choice. That's a lot of C words in one sentence. I'm sorry. The channel's charity of choice is the Trevor Project. They provide counseling and crisis support for the LGBTQIA+ community. And it's really important, especially in these trying times. We like to see everyone get the help they need if they need it. And if you're new here, welcome. We talk about these charities after every game, and I take absolutely no financial income from my channel whatsoever. So whether I'm here playing D&D or I'm here playing video games with the likes of these two lovely ladies or this silly guy down below me, everything that comes in through this channel goes to charity. And we've raised nearly $400 in the last 6 months to go to various charities, which were the charities that have all been named here. Thank you to my community for allowing me to do this. This is a lot of fun, and it's a great joy. If you are a follower on my channel and you have been for a while, if you didn't hear last week, I am giving away a digital copy of Icewind Dale: Rime with the Frost Maiden via D&D Beyond. You can find that link on my, what's it called?
Twitter?
Twitter. Words are really hard.
Hey, it's fine. That's why we're here to help. Twitter.
If you would like to find us on the Twitter, the link is in chat to find all of our social medias. You can find my link there, as well as our YouTube page, where we have a backlog of all of these episodes for you to watch, should you want, as well as the mini arc that we just did with Danae Keener of DanaeKeener.com called The Forgotten Temple. So if you want to just hop in, go watch that mini arc. But for now, we're just going to say goodbye, and we're just going to say go drink some water and hydrate, go eat a healthy snack, take your meds if you haven't taken them today, and go tell someone you love them. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.